Okay, folks, we're gonna shoot this little wrap up of today's digging history finds. I'm tired; it's late, so forgive me if the quality of the video is not the greatest. But I'm James McCormick. This is my YouTube channel, which is called Gun Truck LT. I was given that nickname whenever I was in Iraq. I commanded a gun truck unit, and at the time I was an LT, a lieutenant. I ended up retiring as a captain, and now I do a lot of agriculture work, and also I have a hobby with metal detecting. And with that hobby, we've came up with a television show in West Virginia that's going to air on the library channel. It's going to be once a month, a 30-minute segment, and it's going to be called Digging History and Honoring the Sacrifice. As you can see, I've got my Military Order of the Purple Heart shirt on, and I am a member of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and I'm very proud of that fact. And so yes, a lot of my attire that I wear resembles that, and so there we go. That's just the way that it is. So today did a search along the Potomac River, and trust me, the area is extremely rough. I tell you, this is a heck of a hobby. But let me just go over a couple of things. Number one, always be prepared when you go out. You've got to take water with you. You've got to wear the right clothing. It is getting warm. Snakes are going to start coming out, so always be on the lookout for that. I wear gloves. I wear gloves because I dig up a tremendous amount of garbage and trash and other things. I'm up to date on my tetanus shot. Those are some things that you need to think about when you get into this, because if you get cut with an old rusty piece of metal, that could be an issue. The other thing is carrying lots of water and some sort of a snack with you, a piece of fruit. That generally is sufficient. And communications. Make sure you have communications, and it's always best to have a buddy with you as well. Doing this alone, I do this alone a lot, but I would not recommend that. Today as I was going along some of the high points there along the river, I thought to myself, if I fall here, it's going to be kind of tough for me to get out. But I do when I do my searching, I'm very safety conscious, and also respectful of the land. Take all your trash out with you, folks. Not just the trash you carry in, but the trash that you find. We do a good service when we do that. I also carry around some pollinator seeds with me, because I am a farmer, and I do believe, in helping the wildlife. And so I will plant, flower seeds. It's a native for this area. It's a native mix. And so if I dig and I find something, then, I've got a bag full of seeds, and I sprinkle some seeds out there. And, hey, it's just a wonderful thing for you to do, especially if you're out in the middle of the woods or along the riverway and riverbank and stuff, because that helps. What kind of machinery? I use a Fisher. So Fisher is in Texas, and it's an American-made metal detector. It's a great metal detector. I use an F75. It's a little bit of a price. It's a little pricey for some folks, but it's definitely worth the money. And you'll see just in what I have found today, one day, some remarkable finds that I have found. And then I also have a pinpointer, which is a small handheld device that you can pinpoint and be able to find these artifacts. They get lost in the dirt sometimes, and I can tell you that, especially when you see some of the smaller buttons and stuff, it's not hard for those to get out of hand. So a pinpointer is great. A backpack. I've got I've got a couple of small backpacks that were given to me by the West Virginia Department of Veterans Assistance. My good friend Dennis Davis, who's the secretary there, and the deputy secretary Billy Wayne Bailey, great guys. They give them out for free. But always take a backpack with you, and in there put your water, put your tools, put your equipment, Makes it a lot easier. And then always carry around some paper towel or some kind of a packing material, because some of these buttons and things that you find are a little bit fragile. So let's get to what I found today. Okay, so let's start off with the obvious. I found this. It's a pair of scissors. Obviously, I'm not sure if it is period, but possibly this is a pair of scissors that was used to maybe cut hair with. And then you'll see here there's lots of little pieces of lead, and you get this. You get this Spalding effect whenever the bullets hit. That one's kind of interesting. It may have been carved on, I'm not sure. And this one I found interesting because it looked like a bullet that was just basically cut in half. So you have some 58 caliber bullets. You have a mixture. You have a really strange and odd looking bullet here. This may have been a Confederate one. I'm not sure. We'll definitely be checking into that. Some fired bullets, pistol round, probably a 44. Then you will see a round ball. Now this round ball's been kind of beat on, so this may have been some soldier attempting to make I don't know, a set of dice or something. Then you have your standard mini balls, and then you have the Williams cleaner round here. And I found several. I found several of those today. The soldiers really didn't like to fire these, so that's why you usually find these dropped all over the battlefield or along trails, which is where I found most of these today. Now back here are really cool. I found some cool, what I call, these are probably chess pieces. The soldiers were bored, especially if they were in some of these campsites. So they would make chess pieces, and obviously this one's been carved on, so that's really, really neat. And this I'm not really sure of, but I just wanted to kind of give you a peek at it. Now here's another really cool thing that I found today. Now this came up in 3 pieces, but this is a standard hat badge. It's supposed to be cross cannons. Now the other day I found another tip in the same area, so it may fit there. I will check and see. This is some sort of a little badge or an accoutrement. If anyone can identify that, let me know. That's pretty neat. And then this right here I found, not really sure of what that is. Squarehead nail. I did a video on this squarehead nail. I really like these hand-forged nails because a lot of craftsmanship went into this thing. I mean, you think about person working in the mill and that hot mill making those things by the thousands. I found some uniform parts. I would say this was probably what went with a set of scales. These were scales, shoulder board scales that the soldiers would wear. It was supposed to protect them from saber slashes. They were made out of brass. A lot of people tell me they were used for protection. A lot of people tell me that they were used basically for decoration. And this is most likely part of that, to keep that on. This may have been the tip of a bayonet. I'm not sure. If anyone can identify that, let me know. Moving on to the buttons. I found some really nice buttons today. So I found, 7 general service buttons. 3 large buttons. This one in particular really came out nice. And if you look on the back, what was really cool, if you can see that gold spot right there, that is the original color of that button. So over all these years, that has managed to be salvaged. A J hook. Now these J hooks, I'll tell you, I found a bunch of these, and I thought, well, these are tips of J hooks. Maybe they are. Maybe an earlier model. If someone can identify that, I'd appreciate that. I know that this came off of the top of a J hook. What is a J hook, you're asking? Well, a J hook was used by the Civil War soldiers to clip their backpack straps on their front. So if you look at the soldiers today, so not a bad little haul today. But if you look at the soldiers today, we have a clip that clips in the center of your chest, and that's to keep that backpack from bouncing around. Well, they started that a long time ago. During the Civil War, they had the J-hook. And to find one of these intact like this is very, very difficult to do. So I'm really proud of that. I think that's a wonderful find today. But went a little bit longer than what I wanted to, 10 minutes. I don't know how well this is going to upload onto YouTube, but anyways, this is James McCormick with Digging History, giving you the play-by-play action of today, and and kind of just a rundown of what we found today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be out tomorrow. Probably get about 4 to 6 hours of time in hunting tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll find some buckles and breastplates and all of that really cool stuff. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, folks. Again, watch for us on the West Virginia Library channel, and you can reach me at james261968 at hotmail.com. That's JAMES 261968 at hotmail.com. And watch for Digging History and Honoring the Sacrifice. I think you're going to really love it. We're really hopeful that we're going to get to work with Fisher down in Texas. So First Texas Technology down there. We're gonna really be looking forward to working with those guys. But I'm a fan of the Fisher F75. Great machine, has done me well, and that is pretty obvious from the things we found today. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day. God bless you, and goodbye.